All right. Hey, welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. It's me, DJ Impact. I got Simon Street. It is just us two. We don't have Matt
Just
Michaels.
the two of us.
Exactly. We don't have Matt Michaels and Sin City Steve. This is we record on Sundays, and this is a Super Bowl night. So they're probably drunk out in these streets, or they could be crying because they lost money, or happy because they won money. I don't know. This game could have went either way. So, anyway.
Hopefully they didn't lose big like Drake. Didn't Drake bet $1 billion bet on the Eagles?
Did he?
The Eagles? I don't know. I have to look and see. I know everybody talking about what Drake dropping on the bets.
Man, wow, that's a tough one.
That's nothing. He spent more money at the strip clubs than he do probably at that betting booth.
Well, that's probably true. Oh man. Hey, anyway, welcome. This is our 3 count. This is where we come up with 3 topics that we found online, and we're going to discuss it. If you're watching us live, make sure you throw your comments in the box for YouTube Live, Facebook Live, or Twitch, either one. And if you downloaded the podcast, thank you for downloading and listening. And yeah, man, let's get right to the 3 count. It's time. Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting present 1, 2, 3. Count talk.
Count talk, baby.
All right, here is our first count. 1. And this one is, he's telling you right there. Nick Khan's recent comments confirm WWE is sold according to Veteran. Now, this is from sportskeeda.com, and this is how it read. And shout out to John. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. All right. It reads like this. Vince Russo feels Nick Khan's recent comments about a potential WWE sale not being a lengthy process suggests the company might have been sold already. Since Vince McMahon returned to the global juggernaut as the executive chairman, there's been chatter about WWE possibly being sold. McMahon even said that the purpose behind his return was to negotiate the company's upcoming media rights deal and explore a potential sale. Now, a few days ago, WWE CEO Nick Khan also revealed that the company could get sold within 3 months. Now, speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling, the Wrestling Outlaws, Vince Russo, bemoaned how Nick Khan's comment flew under the radar. Russo think that Khan's comment have made it clear that the promotion might have found a buyer. This is the quote. We are going to talk about Nick Khan. I can't believe how people have just glossed over this. And I'm like, are you people brain dead? Listen closely to what Nick Khan said in an interview a couple of days ago. Here's what he said. So what would the process of WWE being sold look like? Khan revealed. Those involved in the potential transactions are just starting now to solidify a deal, end quote, said Vince Russo. Now, furthermore, the wrestling veteran explained that the fact that Nick Khan pointed out that a sale should not be a, quote, lengthy process, end quote, means the sale process is underway. This is a quote. That means there's a deal, guys. He's telling you right there. There is a deal that is being solidified, and you know what he said after that. It should not be a lengthy process. There's a sale in place right there, added Vince Russo. Now, it also says that WWE veteran Vince Russo wants more people to discuss Nick Khan's comments, and it goes like this. Furthermore, Russo blasted wrestling media for not digging into Nick Khan's comments, where he made some big revelations about WWE sale. He slammed the media for being more concerned about whatever's planned for SmackDown. Quote, this is like free agents in sports. You make a deal and then you got to take the physical. That's what solidifying a deal means. It means there's a deal in place. We are dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and it should not take long. Not one freaking person is pulling that out of this interview. They are more concerned about what's on SmackDown Friday, end quote, said Russo. Now, Netflix, Disney, Fox, and Amazon, among others, are some of the potential candidates who are eyeing to acquire the global juggernaut. And that's how that story reads. All right, I'll just go right over to you, Simon Street, on this one. Russo says, guys, you didn't hear what Nick Khan said. He's pretty much telling you it's already sold. Do you hear what Russo is saying here, or you think Russo is just trying to pull some words together, to say, hey, I came up with this conclusion?
Well, you know what? The one thing I will say about Russo is, out of the many people who claim to have inside information, he has the better track record. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. You can go back and look at and research it out of all these people. But I think there's a merit to this. And the reason why a lot of it has to do with other interviews Nick Khan has gone in and has said things that the plan was for Vince McMahon to come back the whole time. And that was to conclude what was already planned before these allegations and stuff came out. We've talked about this before. But my point is Nick Khan knows what he's doing. And in the business that he comes from, being an agent, because that's where he began, you got to strike when the iron is hot. And right now, WWE product is a hot ticket. It's white hot, people ready, locked and loaded, ready to go. And if you look at a lot of these streaming sites or a lot of these companies that have strong streaming sites, they're looking to pivot. Because right now, it's a race to who has the better streaming platform, who has the most content on their platform. So for me personally, I think that Russo was right on it. There probably is already a deal in place. Now, you would be an idiot if you bought WWE and didn't have a streaming platform. That would be stupid. It'd be like buying a car, but you ain't got a license.
If there was a deal, if there was already a deal placed and it already happened, then I mean, why would we not know who this buyer is? I mean, how does something like that stay secret? I mean, all these people are pretty much have investors, and it should be public information. We should kind of know if one of them now is adding this company to the book, such a big purchase. I don't know, man.
That's not abnormal. That's not abnormal. In this past year, we've seen a lot of big companies. I know for us gamers, we're still waiting for Blizzard to be finalized. But even in the beginnings of that, before Microsoft basically said they were going to buy it, there were so many names like Apple Games that were people were bringing up, but we didn't have any real solidified takers. Do you see what I'm saying? So there is that moment in time that almost fits the same timeline, right? But once it's done, I think that you're not going to know for a month, maybe a month or two, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's already happened. Because there's much more into the purchase of something. It's like you don't just sign a contract or like you go to a store and you buy something. There's a lot of things that you have to go through before you can do it. So I definitely believe Nick Khan, if it is done, it happened real quick. And they probably already have somebody already, while we speaking this right now, already the finalizing moments of owning WWE. And that's big. That's what, 2.6 billion? Around there? 2.6 billion?
I thought it was higher than that. I thought
it might be higher than, well, that might be what Vince McMahon taking home. All I know, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think maybe listen, Russo's a fan of the show. We've had him on a couple of years ago, and he was a great guest. But I don't know if I'm quite ready to say that there is a deal in place. If there is, I don't know how you could keep that silent for some time. I just feel like somewhere it will get out. All types of information gets out somehow, just like everything else. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, but one thing I think we can agree on is that, because Nick Khan, is that they are looking for some buyers, and someone will eventually make that purchase. So it'll be interesting to see. We talked about this last week, but hearing Russo believing that it's already done, that's very interesting. I would tell you this: if for some reason it did happen, your first clue would probably is to go look at the stock price, see if anything dramatic has happened within the course of when he thinks this has happened, a week or two. Has there been something that dramatically dropped or went up, or it's just been kind of, up a few points, maybe down a few points. Yeah, I would think with something as big as that, you would see something really
Let me
take
ask you
off.
this question though. But let me ask you a question. You talk about the stock market, right? And,
You see
and that's smart to say, but the stock
because
market
the
operates
investors,
on smoke, not fire. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's smoke in the air right now, but is anybody gonna say there's real tangible fire?
sorry about that, my mic fell. Yeah,
No, it's okay.
I mean, I don't know. This is very interesting. We will see
Yeah.
where this come about, but we
They
know
got
it's
to do something quick though, because right now, let me ask you this question. I'll leave it big.
yeah.
Right now, in all of the years we've seen WWE, okay,
Yeah.
next to what will most of us in our age group say the Attitude Era, right? Then that mostly just nostalgia and the age was at. Would you say this is the best we've seen WWE in the past 10 years?
Yeah.
15 years?
Oh, man, I gotta really think.
Well, I mean, just off the top of your head, you ain't got to be definitive. No one's gonna call you on it for years, but would you say 12 to 15 years, maybe, right? The best we've seen WWE.
Yeah.
Okay, so this shit is hot, hotter than it's ever been. Do you see what I'm saying? Why would you not sell while you on top? Make that shit real quick.
Right. And this is not even a question of, should they sell or whatever. What we're debating here is, has it sold? Because Nick Khan says, hey, we are maybe 2 or 3 months out. I think he threw actually a turn 3 months out.
He did.
But our boy here is saying, Russo here is saying it's already sold. It ain't no 3 months, So I don't know.
That's why I'm saying though, right now it's hot. So if something's hot, everybody gonna want to buy it. Just like what it's gonna be for Vegas when we have the Super Bowl in 2024. Once it's hot, they're gonna spend the money, right? They're not gonna think about it. So I'm saying a lot of these companies that was listed in this article, at least one of them I could tell has been doing cuts like WWE has. Netflix. Am I lying though? Shit, they tightening up on the password thing. Man, Impact, I had to get my own Netflix. I can't share your Netflix no more, man. I'm scared when March comes.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's go right over into our count 2. And this one says, Tony Khan explains origins of beef with WWE. And this is from WrestlingInc.com. All right, so this is how it reads. Upon the launch of All Elite Wrestling in 2019, the company quickly emerged as a formidable rival to WWE. As the two companies continue to make their plays to get a leg up over each other, some moves have ignited a real, quote, war, end quote, between the promotions, at least in the eyes of AEW President Tony Khan. Now, outside the reports of WWE's alleged contract tampering in an effort to recruit AEW talent, Khan recently spoke about another incident that seemingly sparked the, quote, hatred, end quote, hatred between the two empires. In an interview with the Dan Lee Batard show, Khan recounted a 2021 story about WWE President Nick Khan having talks with New Japan Pro Wrestling shortly after the Japanese promotion began working with AEW. In response to the interaction between WWE and New Japan, Tony Khan asserted his irritation, referring to Nick Khan as, quote, two-faced, end quote. Now, Tony Khan has provided more insight into the situation. Quote, I called the New Japan executives and said, is this true? Did WWE call you and try to get you to turn on me? And they said, yeah. And I said, okay. Well, are we still doing the stuff we have planned? He recalled, because at the time we had a match set up for Wednesday night Dynamite where there was going to be a New Japan title match in AEW. It was the first of many of those such matches. Now, New Japan Pro Wrestling told Khan that they didn't, quote, didn't trust, end quote, WWE and wanted to continue working with AEW. Ever since our relationship with New Japan has, this is a quote, I'm sorry, quote, ever since our relationship with New Japan, it has been incredibly positive, end quote, Khan said. And despite WWE's attempt to, quote, hurt AEW's relationships, end quote, Khan affirmed that it's motivated AEW to work even harder. All right. Let me make sure I got that. Okay. Simon Street. So apparently, this is just, I don't know. This is just crazy to me. But Tony Khan explains the origins of the beef. He believed that this war somehow came out because Nick wanted to do business with New Japan, and somehow that means, I guess they wanted to war with AEW. I don't know, man. This is almost seem like it's more far-reaching than with Russo saying that it's already sold. I don't know. What's your take on this, man? I mean, is Tony Khan just delusional, or you think he's got something?
I don't think it's so much as far-reaching as you would think. I do think that regardless of the people or the one individual that's not on the show today that will tell you immediately what it is. In fact, if he was here, I just let him talk because he probably know everything about it. But I will say that Tony Khan is in a very interesting predicament. You've survived. AEW's been around for what, 4 years almost? 4 years?
Yeah, since 2019. So yeah, close. Not
So,
exactly. Yeah.
So 5 years is where it's a make or break, right? Because everybody says you want to be a successful company, 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So I say all of that in the sense of I hope that this has legs to it per se, because it's important that he has good relations with everybody. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that he has brought, AEW brand has brought, that is even gotten stubborn old WWE to change some of the ways they've done things. And Tony Khan is honestly the person responsible for it, right? But do I think this is really going down? Nah, not really. However, again, I'm going to say it again. I hope it's not, because if it is, there's going to be more to this.
Listen to me.
Going
back to that article, he says he called New Japan executives and asked them, "Is this true? Did WWE call you and try to get you to turn on me?" And they said yes. Listen to me. First off, let me tell you this. I would think that, and I could just be wrong, but even if whatever talks he had with New Japan, even if there was a talk with Nick Khan, and I'm not even saying that's necessarily even true, but let's just say it is. I don't think Nick Khan would have presented to New Japan, "Hey, why don't you do something with us and not do anything with them?" Because why? Why would that's not even good? That's not a good business. It's not something that doesn't sound like that Nick would could possibly it's just not ethical. Just put it that way. At most, if the conversation happened, Nick maybe tried to see if there is some sort of relationship that they could have. And based on their talks, they either decided maybe this not for us or it is for us. But in terms of them trying to turn New Japan against AEW, it's bullshit. I gotta call what it is. You know what I mean? And I didn't think he's putting a little bit. And for him to claim that that's when the so-called war started, what war? What war is he in? Because WWE is not warring with AEW at all.
But see, that's why I was saying a little bit earlier that Tony Khan was responsible. I feel, and this is just my opinion, that WWE may have had a past working relationship with New Japan from a long time ago, Hulk Hogan days, but they weren't actively doing things. Tony Khan comes around, and now, he's actually did the Forbidden Door and really kind of showcasing a relationship, okay? Now, all of a sudden, WWE's starting to do things for New Japan. So obviously there's something there, and maybe he's just a little bit worried because think about it, okay? For all the things that Matt Michaels does say, he does actually strike some truth to a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And I've even said it myself. I love the product. However, the way it's run is not ideal. Tony Khan is a successful businessman, But way the product is, maybe in the long term, just my opinion, could sometimes be questionable. Yes, it's up for him to fix the woes of his illustrious AEW, right? But if this is true, bruh, WWE got that long stroke when it comes to them checks. WWE got that long, you know what, when it come down to that game getting dropped. Tony Khan need to just chill back, fall back, wait for a little bit. Let WWE and New Japan or whatever they got going on, let them do that. Don't be starting shit like this, bro. Your company cannot ill afford this type of smoke. I'm being real. Does that not make sense? If this is true.
Yeah, it seemed like he's just trying to, I don't know. He's created this war. He's always created this war. That's not
it's a chip on the shoulder.
And, I've always thought that AEW was just going to just be considered the alternative. And as the alternative, you know what? We don't even care what the other guys are doing. We're not going to say anything about them. We're not going to pick on them. We're not going to make jokes. Just like WWE has mostly done with them. And WWE has almost pretty much made them seem like they don't exist. There's rarely any reference of them at all. In fact, this past week on Raw, I think Cody for the first time had made a comment. He said, hey, when I was with the other company. Outside of that, nobody has never said anything else about another company or alluded or make jokes or had any raps come out and kick a line. They just totally pretend they didn't exist. So I don't understand why AEW didn't take that same measurement and let the fans, if they want to create that war, let them do it. But don't try to make something, pretend like there was something that WWE did to cause some sort of beef between, them and him. So I don't know, man. I just think that's far-fetched.
I ain't picking a fight with him.
Yeah. All right. Let's go over there to our count three. Guess this will be a little bit something more fun here. WWE 2K23 players will have an insane amount of control in WWE Universe mode. This is according to ringsidenews.com. So let's read a little bit of this. And it starts off by saying that the WWE 2K developers made the gaming world explode with the recent announcement of launching their next installment titled WWE 2K23. Now, not only this is looking to be a highly exceptional addition to the video game series, but John Cena would be on the cover. On the cover, Star had already pumped the fans to be excited about the game launch this year. Moreover, developers also elaborated on the new improvements on the WWE Universe mode recently. Now, the WWE Universe mode is the wrestling game season mode and is equivalent to the season gameplay found in other sports games. The mode allows players to create shows and superstars, battle through legends and stars, and win championships and accolades. Over the last few years, the Universe mode has undergone a lot of changes. It has allowed gamers to assume more control and mold the version of gameplay as per their vision for the WWE Universe. So WWE 2K23 will see a new change in game mode. The players will now have full control over the cutscenes and even book them before matches take place to have complete access to the directions of the ongoing storyline. And WWE 2K3's creator-director Lionel Jinks and associate gameplay producer Brian Williams revealed the details. They further elaborated on the cutscene control during a recent interview with Screen Rant. Quote, with Universe, there are some huge improvements that we made here to help tell the story and give users even more control than they've already had, which is crazy to think about, said Jinx. You can have actions that you want certain superstars to perform before a match. Like, okay, I want Bobby Lashley to shake hands with MVP before the match. But at the last second, I want him to punch him. Like, those are actions that you can actually assign to that match and watch those cutscenes play out and see how that kind of dictates your rivalry. End quote. Now, the developers concluded by saying the amount of control on cutscenes on the Universe mode that WWE 2K gamers will have in this installment will be insane. Quote, Lionel mentioned it earlier when he was talking about the Universe, but I was playing with it and I was playing the game over the past weekend, and I even reached out to our Universe designer. Him and those guys have done a tremendous job on Universe this year. The ability, because the cutscenes have always been prevalent in the universe and telling those stories within that mode, said Williams. This year, having the ability to be the ultimate puppet master, where, like Lionel described, being able to scroll through a list of available actions that you want your superstars to do, whether it be respectful at the start of the match or disrespectful at the end. The level of control that the player will have in the universe this year is something that I don't think they are expecting, he adds. I mean, universe already is about control and being able to manipulate everything, but this is a new layer of being able to actually now set and direct certain actions and events to happen. I think for me, it's a game changer for the mode, and I'm excited for the fans of this mode to get their hands on it because I think the one of those content creators who like to stream the game, they're going to have a field day with this, I think. The fact that it all works as beautiful as it does, I think that it is something that is really going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm really excited about it, end quote. And then it says the video game would include the War Games match for the first time in video game history. Furthermore, WWE 2K23 will be available for the generic public on Friday, March 17th, with the buzz surrounding the launch of the game alongside new improved features. It can surely be one successful installment in 2K history. All right. I know that was pretty long. And I tell you this, it's kind of cool seeing my guy, Brian Williams, being named in there. We might need to have him on the show. I'll see if we can get him on so we can talk a little bit about the game, even some more.
We've had him on the show before, by the way.
Yeah, we have. We haven't had him on for a while, but I'm going to see if I can reach out to him before the launch in March and see if he can give us some more things to get hyped about in the game. But nevertheless, man, this was your article you have pulled actually for last week's show, but we couldn't get to it because there was so much going on. Tell us, what's your thoughts, man?
Well, you know what? I think that they're improving the right things. I felt that WWE 2K22, which I do own and play, did the same science of improving what needed to be improved. With that in mind, I do play universe mode, and there were some things that were a little bit not lacking, but things that as I was playing it during WWE 2K22 that I felt could have been expanded upon, and they have within this article. A lot of it is the script writing, as you read the example of MVP shaking the hand of somebody but punching them around it. This is amazing and great for something that I think every wrestling fan wants to be able to do. Mm-hmm. They want to have the whole world in their hands. And well, maybe not the world, but the universe in this instance. And that's great. Every facet that you can think of to be able to do this, because what people don't realize is WWE 2K has always been a great simulator. Even back in the day when we had SmackDown, people, what did we do? What did we do, Impact? We simulated the game, right? To wherever we wanted to. We had our championships. We created our own rings. We created our own pay-per-views, right?
Yeah.
It's about creating moments. And with this, they're taking this up to the next level. I'm super, super excited. I already got the game on pre-order. Going to be playing it March 17th, along with a whole bunch of other games. But I'm so happy that, again, they're looking and they're listening to the fans, because when 2K22 came out, people were talking about universe mode. Like, they were impressed with some of the things they kind of added, but we want a little bit more. They're listening to the fans. And so I would say at the end of the day, again, like they said earlier, streaming, right? Like, I do a little streaming on the side. I've never really taken the opportunity to stream a 2K game or WWE 2K22, but I might very well do this with 2K23. Imagine creating your own pay-per-view show and you're streaming it on your channel, your own very own Raw or your created show. You have full control. Think about the shit that we bitch and complain as wrestling fans. Now you can't, because you are in control. You are the Vince McMahon per se. So I'm super excited about it. Also, too, a lot of things have been changed, been updated for the game as well. It's white hot. It's coming through. I'm going to try and find a way to make time in my busy schedule of watching wrestling, working, and children and whatnot to make time to play this game. I will get it on PlayStation 5, and I will play it. And hopefully anybody who's watching the game, send out your gamer tags. So as we get close, I have some friendly competition to man.
You got to throw your gamer tag out there so you can.
I'm going to have to. But I don't want no trolls or nothing like that, because I'll block you. I ain't going like that. You go ahead and say it. Yeah,
well, shout out to Micah, who's hanging out with us tonight. He he says that he's got 22 and he's got to get that 23 when it comes out. And man, that's what's up, man. I
Can
think.
I pose one question to anybody that's listening, particularly Micah, since you're listening? Real quick, what version you gonna buy? Are you gonna buy the deluxe version or are you gonna buy the standard version? If he chimes in, cool. If not, we can
He'll
look at
try.
it later.
He even gave his
He already put in the gamer tag. All right.
So there you go, man.
He said he's ready.
He's ready. You know. But
yeah,
look,
2K23 is gonna be on point.
Hey, you just better make sure though that if you're gonna talk all that mess, that you just better be able to back it up. You know what I mean? Especially
well, even if I do lose, I'll just say I've been playing GZ Impact for the longest time, so I thought I was the GOAT, but apparently I was a joke. So I need to step up my competition.
I definitely haven't played a game in a long time. I'm very embarrassed. The last time I played a WWE game, was it SmackDown on PS2?
Oh, please don't say that, man.
The Rock on the cover.
look, man. Look. This is what we got to do. We got to get Mr. Williams on the show, and we got to tell him, like, look, if you can get Impact, one of those codes that you give the reviewers, have Impact play it. You can go on the show and review.
Yeah, you know, I think part of the reason why I stopped playing, and this is probably with any sports games, is the problem is you want to be able to play the game on expert mode. But I'm talking any sports game from NBA 2K to Madden, but any expert mode that you play, you get your ass beat all the time. And it seems like there's a lot of cheating that goes on from the computer. And because of that, I mean, forget the cheating that goes on online. But when the computer, you know, I'm just like, okay, I'm out. I mean, if I got to play the beginning mode just to have a good time, oh, that ain't fun, man. I mean, I want it to be a little bit equal.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what, you're in luck because 2K22 did a lot of things. One and foremost, for someone like you, I would suggest pick up 22. Hell, even rent it. Do they still have Redbox? They can still have a Redbox, don't they? Is that still around? If a Redbox around, go and get your WWE 2K22. Get it out the Redbox. Try it out for 24 hours. Do the Rey Mysterio storyline, and you'll learn all the moves as you go. Okay, so that way you're fresh to go. And then before you turn that bad boy back into your Redbox, go ahead and get online. It's a lot of fun, and it's something that they not watered it down, but they found a way so that someone just not picking it up for the first time or maybe in the last couple of years can have fun and be competitive, but as well for those diehard fans that have come up with any iteration. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, it's something that was the magic sauce of the last game. I'm sure with 23 coming out, it's going to be just as much the same, but 10 times doses of better.
All right. Well,
and guess what? You can't see this.
Well, Micah first off said you can't rent it from Redbox, but you can from GameFly. So at least there's another option out there if you need to do it. So there's something to look forward to. I'm going to work on trying to get Mr. Brian. He's a tough guy to get a hold of, but once we do, we'll promote it and have it on, because I'm sure Micah and maybe some other gamers might want to jump on, and especially some of our Twitch listeners might want to jump on and ask the question. I mean, hey, this guy right here, he's part of the game maker here. So it'd be great to kind of see the ideas that was put into this game, and we hear it from the actual guy who did it. So let's see what we could do. So, man, yeah, let's go ahead and ring that bell because we did it. And thank you everybody for listening to our 3 count. And yeah, man, we did it. I'm gonna let you have your final thoughts, but my final thoughts for everybody is have a good week. Hopefully you enjoyed the Super Bowl. Next year is going to be out here in Vegas, so that's going to be cray. But other than that, it was a cool game. It is what it is. You know, shout out to the Chiefs. They won. So that's that. More importantly, we're still looking forward to the Elimination Chamber this weekend. And of course, after that, it goes right into Mania. So a lot of excitement is coming. Don't also forget, if you live in Vegas, we got the Impact Wrestling Show going on the 24th, 25th, 26th at Sam's Town. And it's the No Surrender Show. So for the big main event is going to be Rich Swann and Josh Alexander, but there's a whole lot of different matches that's already been added. I'll probably talk about that next week. So if you're in town, come to the show. I mean, Impact Wrestling is fun. If you're not familiar with it or you can't get it on TV, just come and hang out. I mean, if you enjoy wrestling, you're definitely going to enjoy what they're putting on. Tickets are inexpensive. Friday is the actual pay-per-view. If you go Saturday and Sunday, they're TV tapings. And everyone just likes to have a good time. That's the thing about it. So if you can, try to make some plans to come out. All right. Simon Street, what you want to tell the people?
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate all the support and love. If you're new to the show, please come through like you said, every week we've got something new, from the DeFalco Files to one-off programming that we do it, as well as wrestling talk and 3 count. We love y'all chiming in and talking. We love it because we will mention your banter and we'll even see it too and go banter back. With that being said, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And that is a quote by Nelson Mandela. Y'all stay fresh. See y'all next time.
That's right. That's right. And until then, we'll see you next week, hopefully with the whole game. All right. Happy wrestling to you all.